Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are discussing our June fantasy series title. If you would like to see this in video format without the commercials, you'll need to head on over to Patreon and sign up. And of course, don't forget you can also join me and my two co-hosts over on the Book Clubs app for even more bookish chats. Please subscribe and like the podcast wherever you're listening. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Shelf Addiction. Joining me today is my special guest co-host and sister, Samiya. Welcome back, Samiya.
What's up?
Glad you're able to join me again for this new duology.
I'm here for it, baby. Yes.
Okay, yes. So before we get started, of course, I just want to remind you that as always with book chats, we talk full spoilers here, so you've been warned. So today we are discussing the book The Serpent and the Wings of Night, book 1 in the Crowns of Nyaxia.
Nyaxia.
Say it. Nyaxia, there we go. Written by Carissa Broadbent. Now look here, I'm gonna be saying names wrong this whole episode.
It was
just
tough
accept it.
It was tough.
It was tough. And this is so as I'm gonna give you the rest of the stats and then we'll get into it. So this was published on August 30th, 2022. It was a self-published title from what I could find. I could not find a publisher anywhere, so I'm assuming it's self-published. The Kindle book came in at 532 pages, and guess what? There is no audiobook. Not yet.
Not yet.
I found out that it's going to be released August 15th. So if you're listening after August 15th, go head on over if you're an audiobook listener. If you're listening before, sorry, you have to wait.
You gotta read it.
I know you got to read it. And I personally, real fast, I was like, oh no audio. That makes me sad with fantasy because it helps me with the names.
It does. It helps a lot with the names, but it helps me to continue reading through my daily tasks too. So no matter what I'm doing, I can definitely get it in. So it helps a lot. But this time, baby.
Look, we were old school. We had to read it.
This was a solid go hard for 2 days.
Yes. So before we jump into it, Samiya, would you please kindly share the synopsis?
Absolutely. For humans and vampires, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the night-born vampire king, Aurea, carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy amongst most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Aurea most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Aurea thought she knew about her home. And Rain may understand her more than anyone, but their blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is the first book in a new series of heart-wrenching romance, dark magic, and bloodthirsty intrigue. Perfect for fans of From Blood and Ash and A Court of Thorns and Roses. Have mercy.
Okay, so look, those 2 books are... We've talked about Sarah J. Maas lots of times, Court and Thorns and Roses. That is like the quintessential reference that every wannabe fantasy book lines themselves up with.
I guess I really need to read it then, huh?
It's good, but again, book 1, and that's my disclaimer. And the other series is by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and she is also a really big name in this genre. And I have read lots of her in the past, but the one that they mentioned in this synopsis, I stopped reading it. I couldn't get into it. So, but these are the 2 like pretty much staples in this quote unquote dark fantasy type genre.
Yeah, maybe I should read the staples. Newbie here.
Yeah, but this was not completely like one to those books, because me personally, with like the trials and stuff, it kind of had a little bit of essence of like a little bit of Hunger Games
Hunger
in there.
Games? That's what it gave me,
Yes.
Hunger Games all day, baby. It was
Mhm.
Vampire Hunger Games. I loved it.
Yes, I loved it too. I really
This was
did.
a really good read. It was so easy. Like I said, it was a 2-dayer for me. So it was I just kept going and going and going. It was real easy.
It took me about a week, but let me just say, because I work all day. So I couldn't even sit down and read it. When I get home, I'm like, let me read this book. But wait a minute, I have other things to do. And that's where like we mentioned, we get spoiled with the audiobooks. So I was hemming and hawing for most of the week. And I really didn't get down to business until Friday. So I literally, in the last 2 days, I read like 70% of the book in 2 days.
Well, I'll tell you this. Initially, I started when we first decided this was the book we were going to read. I read like the first 6 chapters like head on. It was wonderful and I was like, I can't keep going like this because I'm not going to know what to talk about in in 2 weeks like or 3 weeks. I think we said it like
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. So,
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Let me calm down." I did some other reading in between, and then I was like, "Oh, no, it's this weekend. Let me read this book." And so I got to read, and I didn't realize I only read 6 chapters, like 4% of the book or less.
You're like, it's only 4%.
So when I tell you I was supposed to read it Friday. Friday, I was hemming and hawing and BSing around, and I looked up and the day was gone. And I was like, uh, I woke up early on Saturday and I was like, the children, you gotta find something to eat because mama's out of commission. I gotta read.
I have to read this book. Fend for yourself.
That's how that went down.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, well, we had a similar experience then at the end, because I did text you like, you gonna be
I was like, yeah, I got some reading sprints. I didn't read nothing that day.
ready?
So I legit woke up this morning. I finished it like an hour ago.
Okay, so I went to the gym this morning. So I woke up at like 6 and I finished the last 15%. I was done by 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's
So
not bad
then
at all.
yeah. And I'm like, and I was kind of slow reading. I wasn't even like hardcore reading. I'm like, oh, it's only 15%
Girl,
left. I could just knock it
I
out.
was hardcore speed reading, pumping, pumping, and then I had to hit the brakes like, "Rah, what? Let me
Mm-hmm.
rewind that. Like, wait, how did we get here?
Mm-hmm. I had
Oh,
to go back a little bit too when I was trying to figure out what the hell was the plan that Rain was doing. I'm like, wait
I
a
know.
minute.
It was so tough.
Okay. So since we both finished this morning, it's fresh in our emotions. How did you feel when you finished the
Oh
book?
my goodness. I was like, what in the world is going on here? What in the vampire craziness is going on here? What is she? Like that what
I
are you?
know.
I feel like I questioned that all the way through the book, but finishing the book was like, "Oh, I gotta move to the next one. I gotta go. I gotta do
I
this."
know. I wanted to start immediately too. But my initial reaction right after that last sentence, I was like, that's some bullshit. I was like, that's some bullshit. Because, okay, so look, let me just tell you why that was my reaction. So initially, they're going through this thing, and one of them had to live and one of them had to die. We knew
We knew
the
that,
whole time.
and she was committed.
Right.
Mm,
And okay, so they got to the point, and I'm like, okay, she gonna do it. Is the author gonna have the nerve to kill him? And then she did it. And I was like, oh, fuck no. This is that kind of book. She is going to wish him back. And what did she do? Wish him to win, which brought him back. I'm like, God
I knew she was
damn
gonna okay, I don't know that I didn't jump till she was gonna wish him back, but I was like, "Yo, this she can't like she wanted her man. Like, why? She wanted her
it. You get
man."
one thing from the god, right? The goddess. You get one thing. And I said, she going to waste it on him. Watch. And she
She had to
does.
keep that strong arm.
And then what does, and the queen, the goddess woman tells her the best love are the ones that are gone, basically.
Well, what did she say? She
She
said,
said, did I even highlight that?
"The
Probably.
dead can't
The
cause
dead can't
heartbreak," or
hurt you.
something.
The dead loves can't hurt you, or something.
Yeah, yeah, I highlighted that.
Yeah.
It's in there. I was like, "Dang, bitch, she
She's
real she
look.
is raw."
That is serious foreshadowing to what is promptly about to happen, pretty much
And
immediately.
then but when she said that, I was like, "Girl, like, just get over it. Take your crown. Like, you need to take control of everything, honey. Like, just do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it." And she was like, "I wish."
I know. I'm like, that is the wrong thing to do because I know it totally followed the trope, right? It followed the trope. I'm like, okay, this is their love story. They're gonna be together, but now that they're together in this way that is awful, is that they're gonna have to figure this out, or because I can't believe that the author would then try to turn around and have her kill him after all of this. So
That was gonna be a hard thing, like, I just feel like yeah, that was disappointing,
I
but I
felt
guess it made
bad.
for juice. It made for juice for later, you know?
Yeah, look, I felt bad, but when she fucking like her father dies, she doesn't even know this dude is her real father until after the fact. She
Oh,
gets
he was like, "I was gonna tell
yes.
you,"
I'm
like,
like,
"No,
mother,
yo,
so
no, you
she's
wasn't."
half
Oh,
vampire,
trife life, old ass,
girl.
like, crusty ass
He was
vampire.
trying to manipulate her, which is true, and it
And it's
backfired.
crazy. Yeah, because, I mean, I had to look up because they kept on, talking about the courtesay. Is that how you say it? Courtesay? Courtesance?
Girl, I don't know even what you're trying to
Courtesay?
say.
The bond
Oh.
that he was trying to get her to do. Victor was trying to get her to bond to him
Yes.
so she would be his courtesy.
Yeah, I guess. Like, basically, he would get power from her, but she would get
And they
power
live
from him.
forever.
Yeah.
But they live forever
Yeah.
and, like, they could potentially live forever, but if one dies, the other dies too.
Mhm.
I was like, "Girl, you need to bond with your man, like, bond with your man. Don't bond with your daddy."
Oh my god.
Ew.
I would not bond to a parent. What parent would want to bond to their child like
I don't wanna
that?
live with my daddy forever.
No, I mean, but would you want your kid to die if you died? No. So who will
You supposed to die before your kid.
yeah,
Like, I just
so
think he was trying to jump the line. He just wanted to be reign forever and ever. Like, he wanted to be a god, but he was a vampire, so he can be a god.
I mean, he tried. He was really close, right? He was really close to what he
Oh,
wanted.
he was so close until she got digmatized.
That's exactly what happened. I'm like, "Okay, now they had, like, sex all night before
No,
that last."
listen, listen. Let's talk about when the juiciness comes. Okay, so usually the pace of the book, it be ragging the crap out of me, like, it be ragging. But in this particular case, I was highly entertained the entire time, and I really didn't miss no booty scene. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't miss it. It was fine with me. They could have kept going as platonic friends, and I would have been like, "Yes, team. I'm for it. Yes,
But they
team."
were never
But
platonic, they were always flirty. The banter was flirty.
how many men I don't flirt with? I don't care. I be flirting with everybody. Hey, what's that?
If you haven't read the book, she made the choice, as we said, to save her boyfriend to the detriment of her own life, her own self. Her father is killed, the power is taken back. So her father, he won the trials, he won the power, and then proceeded to like off all the Rishon people, right? Like he tried to take out everybody that could have been an heir to that community, right? So he is Hilash, I guess, is what he is. So
Hijari.
Hijari.
Yeah, or
It says
Hijari.
each his Hilash or Regine heir
Yaj.
born 2 marks. So girl, I don't know these names. Okay. Anyway, so what happens is after, Rain gets the power, he asked the goddess to get back all of the power that was stolen. So he instantly becomes hella powerful and he just jets off to kill her daddy. And then after that, he's like,
He didn't even jet off. He did it, like, right there,
he
like,
did, right? Immediately
"Bitch, you
dead.
done, son. One and done. pile of flesh. I mean, ash and bones
He
and
did it right in
mush.
front of her. He didn't care.
Nah, he was a savage, but he's always been a savage, though.
Yes, which is true to him, although he was trying to be just like her daddy. They both did that. They're both really brutal people, but it seemed like when it came to her specifically, they kind of softened, but not all the way. They're still brutal people. Because
Yeah.
after that, he tells his people, they're like, kill her, she's got the mark, kill her. And he's like, wait, I can torture her instead. This is what we'll do. I can torture her by making her marry me.
Listen, I feel like that was one of the things. He said it later. He said, "I said what I had to say to save your life," or
Hmm.
whatever, but I was like, "Bruh, like, did you have to be that brutal?" Like, I'm not convinced that you're not
Well,
gonna be running around here raping people.
look, okay. So Araya got her shots back at him because later, they're getting after they got married. He's in the room. And she's like, "Oh, you don't think you gonna get in the married bed? We're not doing that."
Not getting in my
She's like, "Am I
married
gonna make it
bed.
easy for you to rape me?" He like, "Oh my god, I didn't mean it like that." Basically, but she like, "I don't care, give a fuck." No, we done. That life
I'm
is
done,
done.
like, I don't know. That was really, really strange, and, like, but I feel like the whole time getting there, I feel like the ending was anticlimactic. I wanted, like, more there, but I can see where we have to wait for more.
Yeah,
We gotta wait for it,
because
but
now it's gonna be strategic, right? So it was pretty
but it was
strategic.
calculated the whole
It
time.
was like they're pairing up, as teammates was totally like means to an end for both of them. Although
Mhm, mhm.
he did the whole book lies of omission. Really, he didn't outwardly lie to her, but he didn't say
But
either.
good. He was great at keeping secrets. He was like a million years old.
Oh, I know he's very
He done
old.
kept secrets for a long time with his vampire earth. I don't know why she thought he was gonna be honest with
But
her.
she knew
Like,
she
"Oh
couldn't
my god,
trust
you
him. She
lied."
kept saying it the whole time. She kept saying
Yeah.
it. She knew. She, in her gut of guts.
She didn't know in her gut, and I feel like that's kinda why, um, she was trying to withhold secrets from him, but she failed. Every single corner she failed. It was like, "Girl, I can't." She was in her mind, "I can't tell him that my plan is to take over the world." And she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take over the world, daddy."
I she okay. I don't know.
She had listen, when it came to Rain, she just was emotion vomit everywhere. It was just emotion vomit. I just
Yeah.
like
And you know what though, to be fair, she was at a complete loss. She had a deficit when it
a
came
huge
to
deficit.
those type of relationships and stuff. So it was easier for him to manipulate her because she has such a deficit in that area.
And he figured that out early that she number 1, she didn't know everything that she needed to know.
Mhm.
And it was like, oh, she really can't find out now because she's away from her father. She's stuck in this house in the Moon Palace with everyone else. And now we're here fighting for our lives. So there's no time for her to find out.
Mhm.
That was that sucked because I just feel like if Victor would have told her, like, hey, look, he mentioned it. He said, well, if there's an heir, you know, but I feel like she should have paid more attention to his markings because she did see them
She
quite
did
a few
see it.
times. And she just kind of went over that, the wood was calling her name.
Well, look, and he said, which was true. So he did, like he said, he didn't lie. He was a slave, basically. He was turned by a king. He shouldn't have been an heir. People didn't think that could happen, but he
But
was.
it did. And
Yeah.
it happened to her too,
Hmm.
because she was
But she's
not,
half, though.
she's half. So, oh, they didn't say anything about halves. They just said bloodline. So that's still bloodline.
Well,
So
at the end, they kind of said they were trying to figure out what Victor, like, what was he scared of? Like, why would he take you in? How did he find you? Did he just show up at your house, like, out of everyone?
no, I think he knew. I think he knew that she was his
Yeah,
heir,
that's why he
and
came
he
for
was
her.
like, I gotta protect this and, teach this how
Yeah.
to live because we gotta carry on forever and
But
ever,
that's the point.
right?
If he knew that he made a horrific error in judgment, he should
By
have
not
told
telling her
her the whole time, I'm your father for real. And this is what we have to protect, because she would have a different point of view that whole time. She would have been protecting what's hers, not what's his.
she definitely wouldn't lay with the enemy.
No,
She
she
would not
wouldn't
have
have.
laid with him if she would have known that she was the heir to the throne.
No.
And she would have been way more cognizant of all the political things that was happening amongst the villages and things like that, or the houses. She would have been way more aware of that. I think she would have played her cards more strategic
I
instead of
mean,
being wilding out with
so
it.
even the father, Vincent, in my opinion, missed his second opportunity. Okay, so he didn't tell the truth from the beginning, fine. But after the moon castle got caught on fire with the wildfire stuff, and like they took all of the, what do they call themselves, the Rashan away, after they took all of them away and tortured them, and she's like, hey,
Mhm.
don't torture my friend. We're allies.
He could have told her
That was
then.
his time to tell her the truth.
And he held his tongue, child. That man was the most tongue tied some of I done ever seen. It didn't make
Mm-hmm.
no sense whatsoever.
No. But, and those kind of things makes me wonder if this author is a plotter or a pantser. You've heard of that term, right? So a
No.
plotter means
Newbie,
like,
what's a
so a
pantser?
pantser is you fly by the seat of your pants. You're not plotting the story out. So I
I think
wonder,
she was a plotter in this book, but I think she might have to be a pantser next book
well,
because
I don't know. I mean, sometimes people actually think that far out, because for him to be so stupid. I mean, I guess maybe just by design, like to make it work the way she wants it to work, is why he made that horrible choice.
yeah, I don't know. I just think that he wanted to live forever. I think there's another secret he was trying to take to the grave, but she might unearth after because he's dead. So I feel like Oriah might unearth another secret into her past and Victor's past and kind of tells how or why he kept that a secret or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that might be another plot twist.
Mm, maybe.
Or it could just be the end of that story and now to, you know, on to bigger, better things, Mr. Wood.
Oh my God. That was a mess, honestly. Like, now you stuck with this guy. I'd be trying to murder
She's
him
she
every
is
day.
so stuck. Oh my gosh, she's stuck.
And then, okay,
Like,
so this is the crazy part. So Jessamine,
oh,
who
but
was
yeah, 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 yeah,
her
yeah.
father's like first in command, she really hated that woman. She thought, I don't know what she thought, but she didn't trust her. She didn't like her. And she was loyal to the crown, which is how most people who serve in that capacity, they're not necessarily loyal to the person, but they're loyal to the crown. So she was loyal to her father. And now that her father is gone,
She's loyal to Oriah. I
yes,
think, but I did like that in my little book notes. I was like, yes, Jasmine came in clutch. She
she
gonna be the
did.
wild card. She's the wild card. She just got to keep that secret.
Yes. And hopefully she will keep her effing mouth shut.
Oh my goodness!
And
Stop.
and Jessamine told her, she's like, look, like I know she was fighting not to call her a stupid little girl, but she like, look, honey, you are locked in that room with spells on this window. You are a prisoner in there. He wants you
You
to be a
are a
prisoner.
prisoner. Hmm.
Like the locks
You're
are
not a
on the
prisoner. You're
outside.
a queen. You're a queen.
Yeah.
Act like it. Step up, girl.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait for her to put on her big girl panties next book. Yes, I feel it. I
She
feel it.
better,
I
because that's
feel
gonna
it.
be whackadocious if she just starts working with him. And
Oh
like,
my goodness.
look, that's the way I came up. Whack. That shit was whack, and I had to throw it back to '96 with
Not
whackadocious.
just whack. It's
Yes,
whackadocious.
yes. It's because I'm like, how you gonna work with him?
Well, I kind of think she has to. I
She
mean,
has to
she
now.
has to now. She's
Yeah.
stuck. Like she's 100% stuck. She just has to keep his mind like in the game with her because if he veers off because of what's the guy's name?
Oh, that guy with the the M
Semitis,
name who was betting on her and stuff. What is his name?
Semitis,
Septimus. Septimus?
Septimus,
Yeah,
Septimus,
there we go. I'm looking at the
Semitutius.
spelling. Looks like Optimus with SEP.
Yeah, Septimus. So as long as he keeps Rain's mind in line with her and not veering off to Septimus's goal or whatever, I feel like they might be able to forge this new what do they call it? Nation era, whatever. Whatever.
I guess, but I just hate that. Okay,
Well, he wasn't loyal to their crown.
no,
He
he
was not
wasn't. He had his
loyal.
own game. So there's still something we don't know about him. Like, what's his long game,
Mhm.
right? Like, he
It's gonna be
ultimately
his
said
long,
to
yeah.
her at the end, like, hey, I know what I'm doing. He's like, he basically said he just counted on her saving him or counted on them being together. He has a longer game than she can tell.
I mean, he older than dirt. What you mean long game? He been in this long game for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, what he sees, what he says is not true, I don't think. Like, you can't take him at face value at all.
I wouldn't, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's why she gotta stay in his head, but she can't allow him to be in her head.
But that's what
That's
she's
the
going to struggle
kicker.
with.
She's
I can tell
mad
from
struggling with
this
that.
book, she's not good at separating the two things. Like, she's not going to be able to present one way and have a different plan in the background. She's just not going to be able to pull it off.
Correct. But can we talk about how strong this little chick is?
Yeah.
Like, I love that. Little
You mean
little
physically
chick with the
strong?
daggers. Yeah.
Mm,
Well, for her size and her expectations being half human and everything,
hmm
I was like, yes, girl, get it, get it, get it. Dagger here. Ta, 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 ta. I
She
think
was
she
a
gonna keep it
killer, and
up.
I love that. She is a killer.
That is one thing Victor was good for.
hmm
Victor did raise he raised the freaking killer of all freaking she gonna run them houses. I don't care what nobody says. She better.
She better. Like, she better.
All that daggering and taking time to
Look,
critique
they're
her
gonna try to.
craft.
Okay, they're gonna rule together, because if we follow the tropes of this type of thing, they're gonna rule together. But it's the road to getting there that's gonna make this either exciting in part two or blah in part two.
You know what would be real exciting is if yes, they got it together and they rule together and they reign and things like that. But then one day she gets sick of them. And then she poisoned his tea. I mean, his blood, his cup of blood. Like, here, honey.
Oh my
Tea.
god! So speaking of blood, let me just say, the entire time after they went into the fourth round, I think it was, where they were starving each other, they were being starved. I said, how
He
long
was
before she
slurping
give
it
up
up.
that blood? Because she is gonna give him her blood. I knew the whole time. I was just
I
waiting.
knew she would. I
hmm
knew she would. There was no doubt. She was trying to give him her blood for a minute, talking about, oh, he's on my neck. He's so close to my neck. I laid my head down on his neck.
Oh my god.
I was so close. I could feel his breath on my ear.
Look, this character Rain was really trying his hardest to get her to trust him. He was trying so hard to he keeps reiterating that she's safe, she's in control, but she's not.
Man, like, I listen, that was, like, some of the best programming mind control a vampire has ever done, in my opinion. You are safe. Wait, 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 wait.
She getting the character.
Wait, 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 wait. You are safe. Was that good?
It was okay. You're no audiobook narrator. Stay in your lane, but
Wait, wait, wait. You're safe here.
oh Lord, I don't know if that's any
No,
better.
I
But
quit.
that is what he kept doing. He kept trying to. It was like a mind game almost. He was playing on
It
her.
was. It was the hypnotics. It
Yeah.
was perfect. Like, Like, that really played in his favor because she would say, "Oh, I can hear his voice. You are safe."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Girl, can you
He's
please
in your
listen to
head.
the hairs on your neck?
Mm-hmm.
The hairs of your chinny chin chin, honey.
But
Listen."
she's so impressionable. Like, I mean, okay, so I
But she's young
understand
too.
her underhearing, Vincent, right? Because he's trained her for over a
He's been in her
decade.
ear for a long all her life.
Yeah, basically, she was like, how old was she? Like 6 or 7 or
All
something
her
when she
formidable years, he was in her ear.
Yeah,
So, it was
so
all through her development. She was real young when he found her.
I think
Um,
it was like 6 or 7 or something. She was old enough to know what's going on and be leery of him, but is young enough to really just take to whatever he was
I don't
saying
think she
after.
was that old. I think she was younger than that. I think she was younger than that because, um, I don't know. I guess that just that scene where she was, seeing what was going on and he came for her, it just gave me like, "Oh, well, vampires are big." So
Hmm.
she could have been like 5. No, because I mean, a 5-year-old would have been more mouthy, right?
A
She was
5-year-old,
she was, like, mute for a long time
y
and stayed in that corner
well, for
hiding from
weeks. It
him.
took weeks, apparently. So, let's see. The little girl did not speak for days. King of the
Okay.
House of Night gave her a room next to his, blah, blah, blah. Um, so a week passed, another and another, and at last, when the moon was full in the sky, the child, fighting hunger pains, crept, blah, 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 blah. So it looks like it took
It was
about
like
a
a month,
month for her to talk to him.
so maybe it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just traumatizing things in my
And
head.
he also said, like, a thing, he said to her, "You're not safe. Not in this
You're
castle,
never
not in
safe.
this
You're
room.
never safe here.
You are
Nope.
prey in a
Mhm.
world of predators." He told her from the very beginning.
Yep.
But he
And
did
that's what
say, "I
I'm
will
saying.
never hurt you," following that, though.
He raised a true freaking murderer. Like, she's like prime murderer. Push hard, push. Do all the layers. Crack, crack, crack. Mm.
Well, that's what's needed. You can't be weak trying to break through someone's rib cage. You don't have enough
And
time.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. If anybody is strong enough to break through a rib cage, like, we don't need no more surgeons, baby. We don't need no more.
Well, look, that's why it's fiction. I mean, I don't think the average person can just like put a knife through someone's rib cage like that.
No, it don't. It's gonna break the knife. But I do like that about her character. I think that's what drew me in. So, like, it really made me immerse myself in this book, just knowing that she was so strong. Like, I love that for her, for
I
real,
love
because
that
you
for
don't
me.
see that.
Um, I love that for me. Okay, y'all, look, we got to take a quick break before we continue. We'll take a really quick commercial break. By listening to those commercials, you are supporting the podcast. So please do. And while you're at it, go ahead over to Amazon and check out the book review journal. Stay with us. Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite bookish item. All right, welcome back, guys. So I am like you in that this was good for me that she was so strong because I love a strong female lead. There is nothing worse to me than a crybaby, don't get your life together kind of person. I cannot stand it.
Ooh, that just grinds my gears. Just, it does. But I loved it. I love that she was willing to stand her ground. Like, you gonna get some of this. Try me if you want to.
Yeah.
I like that, for real.
Yeah, and I also liked even though she was strong, she had her flaws, which was needed for character development, right? It was needed for the plot to progress the way the author wanted it to. So she wasn't perfect by any means, but
Not
she
at
was
all.
strong enough that the things that she wasn't doing correctly didn't like grate me. Like,
It didn't
yeah,
overturn everything she was working for.
exactly.
So, she was able to grow, move forward, move on, and learn in the same heartbeat. Like, that was beautiful to me. I
Until
love
she
that.
said, "Save my boyfriend, girl."
Digmatized. She give one night a piece after piece after piece and can't stop thinking about pieces.
I'm like, "Girl, you better save your energy. You gotta fight tomorrow. You up here is having sex all night, girl."
But that's vampires, they have that in them. Like, they're willing to go all the time, anywhere,
Which is
whatever.
maybe why she was able to, because she has some of that in her where she's able to.
That's where that drop
And you know what? There
yeah.
was times where she had got some of his blood in her mouth, and she was like, "That wasn't gross."
She was like,
Mhm.
it tastes like iron
And something else and something else.
and something else."
Yeah.
Oh, but you know what got me? I knew she was gonna fall in love with him. I knew it when she was describing what he smelled like.
Yeah.
When she described him as smelling like saffron and something else, that she got me as saffron. I was like, "Oh, girl, that's gonna be your man." 'Cause oh, I was getting whiffs. Like, I love, that's a good scent. That's one of my faves, but that description, baby, I was like, "Ooh, ooh, she gonna get them draws up. She gonna do it. She gonna do it."
But, actually, I kind of also appreciate a kind of story where we have a central couple and they just have to work through all the things, all the hurdles. I hate a freaking love triangle more than anything. I appreciate this type of setup way more.
Yeah, the love triangles get tiresome, it just makes you wanna just it gets tiresome. Like, everything is not a triangle. Like, sometimes you know the person that you like, and sometimes you just want that person. Like, that's my person.
Mhm.
I want that. And I love that they honed in on that idea instead of the triangle. Like, please.
Yeah.
No third wheels here,
I
please.
know, because even in Hunger Games, there was kind of a triangle, right? Even though
Yeah,
her and
yeah.
Peeta were in the ring together.
But they coulda went without it.
I could
Like, for
have.
me,
It
I
could have.
could've I could've went without that for me. Like, it was just
Yeah.
mm,
So in this case, it worked really well. Although, again, we have that same trope of someone really young with someone very, very old. And I feel like, again, mentally, that allows the man to run circles around her because she hasn't
'cause
had the experience level yet.
he old as tarnation. Like,
Hundreds
why?
of years old.
They be killing me going for these young little like, why can't you find a grown woman to go after?
Because, like,
'Cause
think
she not
about
gonna be
it.
that dumb.
Rain is at least 200 years old, at least.
Yep.
Because he was tortured. He was a prisoner for like 70 years after he was turned.
Trying to think of I feel like Rain is older than that.
I don't
Uh,
know. That's why I said at
2,
least.
300 years, something like that.
I don't know.
2, 3. Mm,
And after you've been around that long, he's been married, he's had children, they've gone, that's a long time to mature. And here's this girl. I mean, she's essentially a girl. How old is she in this book? Is she like 23 or 24? I can't even remember her age. I feel like it was told to us at one point.
I feel like she, remembered back to when she was 17 or something like that. So, and before then it was like, um, 16 or something like that. I feel like they dropped a couple numbers at a few different times, but she was definitely I don't wanna give her no more than, like, 20 max
Oh, so
as
you don't
time
even think
moved
she's over
on.
30?
No,
Nope,
I
here it
don't think
is.
that.
Page 5% in. I was 23. He was still
Oh.
lecturing me that way. So this is when,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So
yeah.
she was older than that.
So
She was a little
23. So
older.
even 23 to 223, let's say, for example, that's still
That's
outrageous.
still nothing. It's
No.
still
So she's
nothing.
got a lot to learn really fast to deal with him in a fair way, which, again, it always makes it unfair for the females in these situations because they always get played. Like the men think they're doing such a good thing. They think they're being honorable. They think they're doing the best, and they're really manipulating. So
Yeah,
I don't know. So
yeah.
that part about Rain I don't love, but I want to like him.
You know what shocked me about Araya is when she was actually going through the trials and, like, I love that she found a good friendship in
Hmm.
Mish. I love that she found that friendship because she saw the human in her. She was very, um, human characteristic or whatever. But speaking of age, what really shocked me is when she went and she gave the old minister
Girl,
a little sippy, sippy, tasty taste.
girl,
I was
like
like,
ew.
"Ew,
Like she went and
nasty."
traded, and she never did tell Rain. He asked her about her bandage,
Mhm.
but she went and traded some sips of blood so that her friend would be released out of the trial, like out of the
And I was like, "Dang, I
competition.
hope she come back," and I hope Mish comes back and she's like another, um, another card in the bag, like one
See,
another
and
joker
this
or
is my
something,
thing
like,
with Mish. I think she's
throw
a
up a wild card.
I think she's a great character, and I think she is a friend to Araya, but she is a better friend to Rain. They've known each other for a very, very long time.
Yeah, that's natural
Yeah,
because
but if,
like,
if
he
it
was her
came
first
to a
best friend.
situation where she had to choose, she would not choose Araya's side. She would choose Rain's side.
I don't know because Araya did save a life.
She
She
did, but
was she
she'll
was
know that. She'll know what she did.
I don't know. I feel like she could be another wild card, but I like that relationship. That made me giggle too. Just thinking about her. It was one time in there where she was like, I was trying not to imagine Mish as the girl who would giggle at the any sound that sound like flatulence in the room. Like that tickled me. I was like, dang, she was really seeing the human in this girl. Like, and I love that she was so bubbly. You don't see that in vampires. You don't see that.
Well, the author went out of her way to make Mish and Rain obviously different from the rest, which is
They
one of
had
the
to be.
things that attracted, Araya to him. It's like when they went to
Yeah.
that bar, they went to that seedy human bar, and she
Yeah.
said, "Oh, he blend right in." He's like shuffling it a little bit, shoulders got a little
A little
hunch,
hunch, a little
so
hunch.
they both had human characteristics. Because they were both turned. Both of them were turned, not born.
Correct. Correct. I just like that. I like that interaction between them. I had to mention it because I was loving it. I was like, yes, me,
We'll
yes.
see her again. I know we will. And if
She gotta come back.
if we see her in the capacity I'd like to be seeing her read the riot act to Rain for what happened. Like, I would love her to go in on
Mm.
him like, dude, you fucked up.
Let me tell you a little something,
Yeah.
buddy, old pal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I feel like she can definitely read him better than anyone else in that scenario because he really values her opinion, her thought processes. Like you said, they have been together for centuries.
At least one
I don't
century.
know,
At least one.
forever and a day.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, a long time. So he values her opinion, which is going to be helpful to Araya later. I think it will be helpful. But yeah, it was a cute relationship, but I'm glad she got out without dying, because that would have been like, oh my God, don't kill that woman.
That would have been so sad.
Yeah.
I was seeing it coming too. I was like, "Don't die. Don't die. Hold on." And
Yeah.
she just gerbling away.
I know, because she could not, like, she had the power of fire, regular fire, which is a different power than Nightborn, or vampire should have access to.
And she
And
lost it.
she lost it, which is how she got so effed up. She was trying to reach
Yeah.
out, and her god would not give her, or goddess, whoever she got that power from, I couldn't remember if it was a god or
It was
goddess,
one of the gods,
would not.
Osterus,
Yeah, they were holding tight, like, nah,
yeah.
taps off.
Like, no, bitch, you done. Sorry.
Yes.
We're gonna see how long you last now.
Which not very long. Not very long.
That was the wrath of the gods. They work when they want to. They, ting.
Yeah.
Everyone's a toy for them. That was the
Basically.
whole premise. We're all toys for them.
Yeah, it was pretty treacherous. But then, like, on the flip side, I wish we could get more information on it. We might get more information on Araya's access to night fire, night fire. Because, like, at certain times, it's able to just, like, erupt from her in this obscenely outright, fire, burn,
Disastrous.
everything.
It was when she boiled over. That boiled over emotion that was too overwhelming for her. That was when it just
erupted.
like when she was on the brink of death in the rink in the trials, just
Well,
I'm
she'd
still
be fighting
alive.
sometimes as well, and then it would be like little sparks at her fingers, like it ain't doing nothing.
It wasn't enough for her.
Yeah.
It wasn't it, and that's something else Rain was trying to tell her. He was like, you gotta use that anger, use that hurt, use that fear, use it. But she was so guarded. What was that? Fear is nothing but a series of, oh my goodness, what was that? A series of responses or something like that. And
Fear
she was
is
just
just a collection
hiding.
of physical responses.
Yeah, she was hiding behind it instead of really honing in like, oh, she had to suck it in and then push it out, and then she would be able to use her night fire, night shade, whatever.
Night fire, I guess, because they
Yeah.
have fire and then
I thought
night
that was
fire.
I think the night fire was brutal. Like the
It
way
just
they
burns you from
described
the
it.
inside, like the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
just
It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold, it was just
that reminds me of, like, in Game of Thrones when they had that wildfire that was green. It just, like, do you remember that? Like, it just took everything out.
disintegrated.
Yeah.
Everything just
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. But I thought I think she's gonna get to a point where she hones in and she's gonna learn to master. She better learn how to master it. But I need that for her.
Look,
I
I'm
need that.
Imma need, like, I know Rain knows she's strong. He's seen it, right? He knows she's
Mhm.
powerful. He knows what she can do, but Imma need him to walk around on tippy toes like she might actually kill him. Imma need
Well,
that.
listen, I feel like with her, honing in on her power and really learning how to use it, which she really got to focus on and do.
Mhm.
I feel like when she does that, and then with Jasmine in the backdrop, making stuff work on the outside that Rain doesn't know about,
Mhm.
then I feel like he will be at that precipice where he's got to say, hold on, let me back up. Like, wait a minute. Like, I might be big, but this bitch will kill me.
Mhm. Yeah, I think he also kind of thinks that she has it in there to kill him. It's in there, but she really likes me, so she won't. You know what I mean? So, like, I think he kind of thinks that he's the exception to the rule and she won't really kill him. Like, even at the very end, they had that little comment, he's like, "Are you going to kill me today?" And she's like, "Not today."
Not today.
But
Not today.
no,
But
but
she did that before
I know.
the before the fourth trial, or no, it was before the last one. And she was like, I'm not gonna kill you today. No, it was in between one of those where she was basically choosing to work with him
Right.
still instead of just dropping him at the side or whatever. So
Right. So even that, at the end when they said that, that was to me more a callback to that. It wasn't actually a threat. It was a callback
yeah,
to them
it's a
deciding to
recall.
work together, right?
Yeah.
Deciding to, although I think it needed to be a threat. He need to feel a threat, but he doesn't feel it because,
I
they're flirting still.
I hope they get past their animosities
No,
and
there
their
is none on his side. He think it's fine.
inbred issues via
No.
their family lines and trauma. Like they need a good therapist.
Girl. So one of the little things right before the end, she says, "My friend, my enemy, my lover, my captor," right? So this just tells me all the things I need to know. She's soft. She's soft about him. And I don't know what it's
So
going to take
soft.
for her to harden up. I don't know.
She gonna stay soft for him. She living a soft life under his big old wings.
Can you imagine that scene? She's like, and just like the night, I didn't pull away from his touch. Instead, I pressed my palm flat to his chest. Behind him, my kingdom burned. I thought maybe not tonight, I said.
Not tonight.
Bitch, your whole life is on fire. And you like, okay, honey, I won't kill you tonight. Okay.
You know, them big old man titties in her face. She gotta pay some attention to him.
But
Her little horny self
I
can't get
guess.
past
But
it.
again, that's age and maturity, right? That's what she doesn't have is age and maturity. Because
I
guess
mean,
what?
she is at that prime age,
Look, after
20
you've
something.
had hundreds of years of sex, ain't no sex that good that keep
I
you.
mean, if you go around rabbit jacking all doggone day, you're gonna get tired of it at some point.
Look, when you're young
She got
and
a couple hundred years
and,
on her.
and inexperienced, of course, that's more. The strongest feeling you probably could feel, and that's what's keeping her kind of like not from cutting
That's
his
what's
head
keeping
off.
her locked in. It's that
Yeah,
wood.
yeah, basically. Which is
Her
not
descriptions
fair. I
now.
don't like that stuff. But it's in the book. Like it's a part of the story because without it, it may not be as entertaining because no one likes a character that is so rigid, So
Yeah, you need that full circle, that wholesome characterization,
mhm.
where it kind of gives them well she is half human, so it gives more emphasis to that side of her being able to relate to those feelings and emotions and events and things like that. So
Yeah. So
it's kind of necessary to be
yeah,
digmatized.
I guess. I guess. It's fine.
I mean, when you're growing and
It's
you
cute.
young,
It's
it's
cute.
easy sometimes.
And that's the thing about this book. So, all right. I think that this is definitely adult. Some people were labeling this as new adult, and new adult is like that happy place between being a grown up and being like a teenager. You're not YA, but you're not like 30.
Yeah,
Like that
I
college
think,
age.
um, it probably is more
17 to
adult.
18 to 23, 24, 25. You're young,
I think it is
inexperienced.
more adult. It's just, I think because of how the, sexual encounters escalated and her experiences, even her first sexual experience,
That was horrific.
that was absolutely horrific. Like,
Yeah, that was
that was
horrible.
no,
Like, and the thing
that
is,
was
though, the guy didn't even like do it on purpose. He got like
he didn't know.
bloodlust. He
Yeah,
blacked out and went crazy, ape shit crazy on her, and
no.
that was like, damn, that was your first experience. That
Like,
sucks.
I felt so bad for her. I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh my god, that was an awful first experience." Like, it
I
like,
know.
I'd have been trying to write that off in the on the page to take to the grave. Like,
Honestly, I'm
I don't know.
surprised she let Rain bite her on the neck after that experience she had.
I think she wanted him too much not to, because she wanted him before she knew she wanted
I know,
him.
but still, that's got to trigger some memories. The last time somebody got
But
you
it
at the
did.
neck, they tried to like take you out.
It it did trigger her, and she kept on kinda having to pull herself back, and he was like, "You're safe."
Oh my God.
But that's how he brought her back, and she was like,
Oh my God.
take my juices."
Okay, so look, if I had to criticize one thing about this book, I think it would be that the author, and this is why the book is so long, she does a lot of tell, not show, which I think is part of the reason why the book is so long. Like,
Mhm.
and we could have used more action to show instead of just telling. And I know
Mhm.
sometimes that is by design, but sometimes too much of it is not a good thing. So in my opinion, if I were to criticize one thing, that would be it.
Um, what would be my criticism? I don't know. I don't think I have, um, an important criticism or I don't know. I liked it. Like, I didn't
I like it too. And but see, the thing is, I just feel like two things can be true. I can still look at something critically and still like it.
I
So
don't have that critical eye yet.
I mean, and honestly, the beginning was a little bit slow for me, like the first 6-ish%. Like I could feel the vibe initially and I
Yeah,
knew
it
it
was
was gonna be good. It was just like, okay, get there, get there, get there.
like I said, I just read through it like I
Mhm.
was through it like, but wait, because
Yeah.
I felt like I could keep going, so I had to pull back and slow down. But
Yeah.
um, I like that it was action all through there, and I didn't mind the little blood and guts spattering
Oh,
everywhere either.
I like some
I was like,
stabbing and
"Bing, bing,
killing. It's
bing."
great. I love the stabbing and killing. I need that to counter with romance. You can't have me all up in, and I like the amount of romance too. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't
It wasn't too
overkill.
much.
They
Yeah.
weren't like trying to have sex during the trials, which is some books, some books they'd be like, "Oh, we running for our lives to stop and have sex against this wall," and they keep running.
Let's stop in this corner real quick.
Right. So they didn't do that, which I appreciate because
Or I read one book and they were on the horses on their way to the big battle or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, let me get my feels. Let's hump on the horse."
oh no, that is whack.
I'm like, "What is this?" Like,
That's
like, come on,
awful.
pay attention, pay attention.
Oh my god, that's
At
dreadful.
least it wasn't cringe, like yeah, because
No,
some of them get real cringe.
no, I think Carissa Broadbent did a good job with the sex. It was kind of vanilla, it wasn't very kinky, but it wasn't like tepid water either.
I feel like it matched.
Yeah,
It matched what was going on in the storyline, in the levels of relationships. Like it wasn't like overkill. It matched.
it
It
did
went good.
match.
It was tasty.
Yeah, it was tasteful. I had a good time with it. I liked it. I mean, overall, I liked it, and I'm excited to read the second one.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I think I'm
Like,
gonna start really quickly though, so I can actually, because I like to read several things at once. So I'm actually
yeah,
gonna take my time instead of like trying to rush to the finish line. I want to like pace it out a little bit.
you're not gonna go at it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get
No,
it. No.
no, I am not. My plan is to probably read, I don't know, 25% a week or something. Like I'll really just try to stick with that so I can enjoy it more,
I
I think.
can't. I can't draw it out that
I'm
long.
gonna
Like,
try.
especially if I'm enjoying the read. Like, it's so easy for me to sit down and just read. Like yesterday, my TV didn't come on at all, baby. I was highly entertained in this book.
Same. I mean, I hear you, but I like to, especially since I
I
got so
did.
many other things going on too. So,
I did take a break to play my game,
okay.
but I went right back to my book. Like, but I did. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would make it is. I would consider this read like a slow burn
It is
because
a slow
it just
burn.
kept going and going, but it was steady. It was consistent. Um, it built to a good climax. So
It is a slow burn. And see, the reason why, so the next book, all right, so the next book, it just came out in April too, but it's okay. Look now, this is a good reason to start earlier. It is
oh Lord,
665 pages.
Oh, that's not so bad.
The first book was 530 pages, so it's over 120 more pages, which isn't bad. But when you look at a book that is 660 plus pages, that thing is a chunker. It's like Sarah J. Maas books, this big. You can't see my fingers if you're not on Patreon, but it's a big. So just me, I don't like the feeling of looking at the percentage as I'm reading, feeling the pressure of having to say, oh my God, 10% left, 8%. That, I don't like that pressure feeling. So for that and that alone, I'll probably start early. Even if I finish early, I'm okay if I finish
I'm not. I'm going to do this probably the same thing because my chunker is not a chunker.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I get it.
I probably will divvy it up a little better, but I don't think I'll do it like over weeks and weeks.
I might, because I can't even tell you what else I'm about to read. That's off the subject. Okay,
we are going to
go ahead and rate this thing because I think unless there's something specific you want to cover, I think we should just rate it and wrap it up. What do you think?
I think we spilled all the beans on this.
Yeah, we got all the high level, good, juicy parts, I think. There's a lot of other things in there, trust me, but we're not going to talk about all of
it. We'll be on here forever.
I know. So let's rate it. Why don't you go first?
I rated it 5 stars. Woo! I like this book.
That's great.
I love it.
That's great. 5 stars. That's a win. I rated it 4 stars. I also think this is a very good rating because y'all know I'm stingy with the stars. I am very stingy. So
I think I'm not stingy yet.
No, you will be. But I think 4 stars is excellent out the gate for me. And I'm looking for a home run. I'm looking for a 5-star finish where I can say, everybody, if you like this, you will love this type of thing.
Yes. I loved it. Yeah. This was a great pick. Yeah.
Yay, I'm glad. And I only picked it because, actually TikTok delivered on something. I saw this.
Oh, yeah.
I saw this on TikTok a lot of times and on BookTube. I'm like, everyone and their mother is talking about this book right now. Let's do it.
It was not disappointing. I'll tell you that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the recommendations came through. People actually did not lie. For once. All right, so we're going to end things there, you guys. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you are still hearing the sound of my voice, please don't forget to like and subscribe before you go so you don't miss our next episode. We'll be right here again next month to talk about the second book in the duology. And that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction official Facebook group where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.